Hi, I'm Linda. I'm here to help you work at home with your young readers. Let's get to our question. My kindergarten son just can't learn his sight words. He knows the, a, and is all the time, but he can't remember was, like, or any of the color words. We go over and over the words, but they just don't stick. And he gets 5 new words every week. He also is having trouble learning 4 letters, G, J, Y, and W. What can I do to help him? This question is a good one. So many parents and so many teachers and so many students want to bang their heads against the wall with sight words. This is actually an easy answer because you've said something that's really important. What you've said is that your son is having difficulty with learning 4 letters, G, J, and Y, and W. And it sounds like you're spending lots of time on these sight words. And I want you to think about this. He doesn't even know all his letters. So how can he remember, for example, a sight word big if he can't even remember that the G is G? So the first thing you need to do is work on his letter names. Once he knows his letter names, you can start teaching his letter sounds. He probably already knows some of his letter sounds. If he doesn't know, if he's having trouble learning a single letter, it's going to be even harder for him to learn 3 letters. Or let's say you said he's having trouble with his color words, orange, O-R-A-N-G-E, 6 letters. He is not matching sounds to letters, which is why he's just trying to memorize words. And we can't have that. You're spending too much time. What we need to get to make sure is that he understands, he knows his letters, he knows his letter sounds. And then when you have a high frequency word, such as, I think you said that was is a high frequency word. Well, once he knows his letters accurately and easily, he can identify his letters, and he knows letter sounds, then here's what happens. Was starts with a W. And he'll say, what's the first sound in was? Woo. What letter spells the woo sound? Oh, it's W. And then he has an anchor to help him spell that word. You also want to make sure that you start with the short high frequency words. And here's the nice thing. You don't have to teach words that are phonetically regular, such as in and did and on. You don't have to teach those as sight words that he has to memorize. What you want to do is wait and let him fit those into his phonics program. Here is the order that if I were you, I'd be working on. Letter names, then letter sounds, then pick 2 or 3 new high frequency words, such as you could pick was, and I would not use like. I think that was one of the words that you said, because like is a vowel consonant E sound. Once he gets to that in phonics, he'll know how to read like. So concentrate on the words that aren't regularly spelled, the small words, but don't even do that until he knows his letter names and most of his letter sounds. This was a great question. Lots of parents have this question. If you have more reading questions, send them on. Any parents who have any reading questions, send them on. Please take care and have fun reading with your child.
For more information about teaching reading, please visit www.readingrockets.org.